Yo, what's going on, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new episode of Saturday Night Locals. Here we are in episode 98 of the series, and we are back on Speedroid Kashtira. It's going to be sort of my main go-to deck until I think the next core set comes out anyways. This is the deck that you guys know I love playing it, and recently, as you can already tell by the opening hand there, which is Piper, Tetherwolf, Birth, Terra Top, and Small World, that the deck has changed in some capacity. Took some inspiration from a first place regional list from South Africa, of all places. Very, very cool build with some interesting ideas in there. One of which was playing Small World. The other which was playing, I think it was Summon Limit in the side deck, some things like that. They're also playing one Duke, which is something I've been on the fence about recently. One of my other friends who was actually in one of the recent episodes of Saturday Night Locals, and I was playing against him, Ricka, they had already made the move to play one Duke, and I've just always been such a weird spot with one Duke in the deck. It's like, you know, you have these types of cards in any deck where it's like, it's always been a 2 of, but now you're like, well, what about a 1 of, right? Maybe we try to move it down to a 1 of, and that's kind of where this card is at. The Den Daiko Duke. So this is also one of the first locals I think I played with it at 1. Wasn't sure how I'd feel about it, but you'll kind of get to see how things go throughout the tournament. And my opponent is also having a little bit of a extra deck error right here. They're supposed to have a Baron in their extra deck, and
Did you leave it here?
they cannot find it, which is unfortunate. If I had an extra Baron on me, I would have lent them it. But I only have the 2 Barons that are in my extra deck, and I would have let them look in other places. They just were fine with balling out without it. It ended up being in another deck, actually, of theirs. They found it after the match, so they didn't lose it, which is good. So yeah, they're going to start by bringing out Vala, I believe it is. Just going to discard the Lopter effect, tribute to self to go ahead and spec out from the deck. And I know this deck likes to hand loop a lot. I don't really know much about the Generaider stuff. I know you can pair with like Runick cards and stuff, and this particular player has been playing this deck. I think the last couple times they've been at locals. So, and I think I've commentated over a match or so of their deck, and you know, I kind of knew what to expect going into this, and that hand rip was going to be one of those things. At least a couple hand rips, maybe 3. So. Yeah, with the, what is it, Har and double enter Blathnir into Utopic Draco. So, especially with no hand traps, which I was playing a lot of hand traps. Although my hand trap lineup, I think, was, well, actually, I think compared to previous builds, it's one thing I didn't really like about this new build that I was trying. You know, like I said, I was trying to, I didn't play card for card, the list I mentioned earlier, but I took a lot of inspiration from it. And the one thing I didn't really like about it was the lower hand trap count as opposed to previous builds, which was playing like 17 non-engine, 17 going second cards. This build was like on the shorter side, it maybe like 13. And definitely feeling it here, to say the least, in this particular game. Also on 2 Birth, that's another thing. Double Birth, I think, is just something I've been also back and forth on, and I decided, you know what, let's just go ahead and up Birth count. It seems to be a reoccurring theme where not having the second Birth makes the follow-up Unicorn way worse. And sometimes can outright just be a blowout to have that second copy. And also, opening Birth, as many cash players will know, is just kind of broken in a sense. So, also, I think one of the other changes, yeah, the 1 of Duke, which I end up drawing. There off that Jormungandr effect. So each draw, and then I give him a card from my hand to attach to it. And I really wasn't sure what I wanted to give him there. I think Tetherwolf made the most sense. Just because, like, Duke or Piper is going to be one of the normal summons anyways. Yeah, and since we drew a card, well, I drew a card, he's going to get to proc boss stage, and he's also going to get the Har effect. to make me send a monster from my hand or my field to the graveyard. So obviously sending Duke is a no-brainer here. And gonna go ahead and bring out another Vala. And I think this ends up just being the second Ender Blast. And if only if I had a Nibiru in my hand, which I think I was playing at least 2 or 3 copies in the main deck this time around. Just because as much as I don't like the idea of playing Nibiru in a deck with cash cards like this, it's just so good against the Fire King Snake Eye deck and the Snake Eye deck in general. I just couldn't feel confident going into any sort of competitive setting without that card in my deck in some capacity. So I've made some accommodations in the extra deck to be able to better deal with Nibirus and Nibiru tokens. And that is Donner Dagger for Hire, a card I was playing in the deck before. But putting it back in just because it can help you out. Your own Nibiru or your opponent's Nibiru token. Open up the field for cash plays. So they go for the Utopic Future and the Utopic Draco there. Leaving with just 2 cards left in hand. I draw Ash for turn, which is really good top deck there to stop the boss stage. Definitely don't want to let that resolve. He doesn't negate, and now I'm left with a 50-50 chance here whether my opponent decides to negate the Terror Top or they don't negate the Terror Top. So I special summon the Terror Top. I activate the effect, which I mean honestly is literally just playing right into the Utopic Draco. I guess I didn't have to use the effect of Terror Top there. I'm not really 100% sure why I did. I could have easily just like normal special summon it, no effect, normal summon Piper, activate its effect to excavate 1. That probably actually was just the play there, honestly. So yeah, it wouldn't be a winner kills video without a little throw here and there. But we go to game 2, and you can see that side deck option there. Cosmics are in, Judgments are in, and yeah, I think it's double Cosmic, triple Judgment, double Cosmic, double Summon. That's what is in from the side deck there. And yeah, it's unfortunate opening double Ash. I guess it's not so unfortunate. I mean, getting a guaranteed way to stop the boss stage is nice, and also one of it can be fodder for Small World. And right now, I think that's what I'm trying to figure out is the bridges. That's the one thing I didn't really spend time before locals trying to think about was like, how are my bridges in the deck, right? And this is one of the nice things about Small World in situations like this where like, you know, I could just turn any card in my hand that I don't need into an extender that I do need. So after finally thinking about it,
so 0 attack,
and we go Ash into Droll, into Terror Top. Yeah, so 0 attack between Ash and Droll, and then between Droll and Terror Top, they're both wins. Nothing else matches. So we go ahead and just add the Terror Top to the hand, and then we normal summon Terror Top here. Activate effect to go ahead and search. Now, one play I could have made here was actually grabbing Tekatomborg, tagging out for Piper, excavating 2, making Wind Pegasus, then making Draco Sack, which is a line that I've thought about several times. It's like using the Speedroid cards to get into Draco Sack. So yeah, that's definitely like a missed opportunity. Because you can banish a 6 off Rubber Band Shooter. And just do like Duke and Car Turbo. And then you can still like make a Baron after that. But you know, I think this is a little bit safer, right? I can get Baron before my 5th summon, try to play it around Nib as much as possible. And here I thought about trying to go a little bit further with the combo. Right, so I use Birth, bring back Unicorn here, and I thought about linking these 2 off into Rubber Band Shooter, and then banishing a 7, just to go Duke and Piper and Yo-Yo, not Piper and Yo-Yo, Terror Top and Yo-Yo for follow-up. But then I throw away 2 interruptions, right? I throw away Unicorn interruption, I throw away Birth interruption, so I really didn't feel like doing that. Although, you know, like I said, I easily could have. But I was like, you know what? I'll just set summon limit, leave the Ash in hand. These have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 forms of interaction. Birth, Unicorn, Baron, Ash, and Summon Limit. I figured that would probably be enough without overextending needlessly. I mean, I could also take a super risky route where, like, if I do the 7-play Banish, Reveal, Terror Top, Yo-Yo, if I get the Yo-Yo, I can normal summon it, bring back Duke, make a level 7 Synchro, like Fast Dragon, or regular Clearwing Synchro Dragon would actually kind of go hard in this particular matchup since all the good generators, well, all the generators are level 5 or higher. So they're going to go ahead and normal summon Diviner the Herald here. I feel like I just let this resolve. There's no need to do anything here. I wanted to let him get to a point, and I do this every time I have a summon limit. Obviously, I don't want to like preemptively activate it, just because, you know, they get their 2 summons. But I decided to I chain it when my opponent would try to summon a 3rd time, because like summon limit like remembers, like it knows how many times your opponent has already summoned. It's not like they can only summon 2 times after the activation. It's just like 2 times the turn that you decide to activate it, right? So I let them summon twice, and then if they have a way to, like, you know, activate a card that would let them summon a 3rd time, I chain the summon limit to that to let it sort of like pseudo negate that effect, right? So the Diviner here will not be able to resolve, getting them that Buten onto the field, that extra body. And so they cannot summon any more monsters at this point. And something I've learned recently, in positions like this, the only way I can really lose is either to some form of spell trap removal, or Talons take Baron and pop Baron, or pop Summon Limit, which I did get blown out recently by that because I decided to negate a card that I feel like you really wouldn't blame anybody for negating, but I got hard punished for negating it. But I digress. They activate Runick Destruction to try to pop the Baron. I negate that, and they activate Boss Stage, and they just pass. And I draw Ash for a turn. Or no, I had the Ash in already. I draw Card Turbo for turn. Yeah, they just admit defeat there after the Ash. And we go to Game 3. Already in Game 3 here. Both of us kind of getting blown out Games 1 and 2. I was happy to see a hand trap here in Game 2, but one thing I failed to do, and it's really because I didn't have my siding patterns down at this point. I should have sided out the Small Worlds going second, just for more non-engine, because it's just not a card you want to see going second. At least in my opinion, I don't think it's a great card to see going second. So, and I don't even think there's a way that I could like turn it into a board breaker like Fenrir anyways. Yeah, I don't think there's a way to turn Nib into Fenrir, at least with the spread of cards that I'm playing. Yeah, I don't think so. I don't think there's a way at all. But they go ahead and bring out the Sleipnir, and then that allows them to activate World Legacy Monstrosity, bringing out 2 level 9s. It's going to be Hela and Vala. And I'm just hoping that this Nibiru will be absolutely fat. That is my hope right now. I need it to be huge. I know that he can summon out Har, which is a monster negate. And I know he can try to snipe it out of my hand with Ender Blathnir. And I know he can make like Utopic Draco. So I was like hoping he wouldn't go for like an Ender Blathnir right here. Like he didn't open up that good to try to snipe something early. Luckily, he's just going for this play here to detach, make us both draw, and then we each attach to that card. Draw Unicorn for turn, which is really good, especially with Terraforming in hand already.
You give me any card I give you, right? Any card.
Yeah, so I was like, you know what? I'll give you Small World. So that just goes to show how much I wanted that card in my hand. Should have decided out, and I think as of right now, almost a week later from this tournament, I'm not playing Small World anymore. I think I'm just playing Talents instead. I just don't think it's worth it in the deck. I'd rather just play hand traps. That's just plain and simple. You need to draw hand traps. Like I don't want to just draw. I don't want to lose die roll, right, and then draw Small World. I would rather just have something more impactful, like another hand trap. Is it a cool card in the deck? Yes. Might I try it again in the future? Maybe, but not interested in it currently. So they get to resolve boss stage here. That's going to bring out the Mardell. And Mardell's going to grab Har, which I was like, okay, this is the monster negate. But I wanted to, I think I asked to read it here.
Can I read him real quick?
Yeah, because I want to, like, how can this guy get himself on the field? You know, I was just kind of looking at that, reading the other effect, like, how does it negate, et cetera, et cetera. So we hand him back the card, cut the deck. I was like, all right, we're going to need to nib here real soon. Because if he gets that on field, this nib is going to get negated, and I'll lose another card potentially off his effect. So I didn't want that to happen. So yeah, it's going to use Vala's effect.
What does that do?
Discard one Generaider card, special summon it, and then the other effect is on summon, special summon a Generaider from grave or hand.
Yeah, so there's the effect.
Sure, that's fine.
I'll let that go, and then it activates the effect. I chain nib here. This is like the absolute, I think, last moment that I have to activate this card before Hara gets on field. So I decided to fire that off now, obviously. And I was just kind of hoping it would be enough, right? I'm really, really hoping it's going to be enough. And now that Nibiru has been activated, and obviously I'm playing cash card, now I'm also thinking about, okay, how do I...
Oh, this is yours.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
This is you.
Gives me the Runick tip on accident. Grab that small world back real quick. And so we put the token there. And it's a pretty big token.
Yeah.
It's a pretty big token.
Might want to put it in attack.
Yeah, and
I might.
and the reason I want to put an attack is, again, anybody who's played
Maybe not.
Cash and Nib and things like that, you know that
49, 57.
and even like Sword Soul too. I think people were doing that in Sword Soul just for 10U stuff. Like, you want to be able to out your own Nibiru so you can open up your field for whether it was 10U plays back then or cash cards now, right? You want to be able to have to go like battle phase, crash the Nib into the token. Yeah, you'll take some damage, but you're playable main phase 2 at least, and that's all that matters. But I have Terror Top in hand, right?
Yeah, it's a rock. Yeah.
I have Terror Top in hand, so I can just normal that, grab something, like, you know, I guess it would be... that's rough, actually, yeah. I would just have to just do Terror Top, grab, like, Car Turbo, and then, or, like, Tekatomborg, Link off. Yeah, Link off into,
Draw?
now I draw a Shifter for turn. Which is the last thing I wanted to draw. If he wasn't able to get that small world in my graveyard, I would be able to, like, fire it right here. Not really sure how much it would benefit me. But, you know, I'd still be able to do it technically. Maybe turn off some semblance of follow-up of his. I'm not sure. I'm not sure if the Generaider cards need to, like, tribute instead of the graveyard. I don't think they do. Yeah. They summon out...
Yeah, summon tokens.
I don't even know what that one's name is. I just know when it's like when you activate a monster effect, they can just like chain to banish it. Yeah.
Thinking.
So looking through my extra deck, reading Donner, making sure I understand the effect and how to summon it. And on the resolution,
Mind Drain.
my opponent activates Mind Drain of all things.
Effects in hand.
Yeah, so I can't activate effects of monsters in hand.
That-
Which is crazy to see that they put that in going...
So, tribute 2 Generators,
Yeah.
rock,
Yep.
and banish a card on the field.
Okay.
Yeah, so tribute 2, banish a card in the
I
field.
believe it does target. Target, yep.
Alright,
Yeah.
sounds good.
So,
Activate terraforming.
no activated effects in hand, but, you know, you can still, like, inherent summon things like Tekatomborg, all the Kashtira cards, and, you know, there's Harpy's Feather Duster, there's Cosmic Cyclone, none of which I decided to draw, unfortunately for me, so terraforming for planet. It'd be nice to have, like, a way for Terraform to search some kind of spell, that, or field spell that could, like, out back row. It'd be kind of nice. So we normal summon Terror Top here. I was like, please don't flip Skill Drain. That would be, that'd be terrible. So I feel comfortable being able to grab Tekatomborg here. Just because, again, Tekatomborg does not activate. It's just an inherent summon. And if I can go for Donner here, I can clear, like, the, that Generaider in the middle of this field. For some reason, I cannot think of the name of it for the life of me. Yeah, I think Tekatomborg really is just the play. I don't really think there's another card to grab here. Normal summon already expended.
And this is his activated effects, right? Or effects of monsters in the hand cannot be activated. Okay.
Yeah. Cannot be activated, so I can still, again, inherent special summons like Unicorn, Fenrir, Tekatomborg. Yeah, that's really it. So I cannot use Car Turbo because it activates. And I cannot use Scareclaw Kashtira either. And on res, he uses the effect here to tribute to and banish Car Turbo. And this is where I wish I would have put the token in attack position. When all else fails, just put the token in attack position. I don't know why I did that, because I think this pretty much just seals the game. Well, we'll see, actually. I think my opponent makes an interesting play here. Yeah, so they bring out Har off the Vala, which was summoned off Hela. And I'm resolving Planet now to go ahead and search for a cache. And I think I just grabbed Fenrir, because why not? Fenrir is technically my out to Mind Drain.
I discard a card.
And my opponent lets me send a monster from my hand or field to the grave. So I can send the Nib, and then the best play would be... oh man, that's
Special.
yeah, no, that's a big misplay by me. Well, I mean, I guess he still has Har live.
That one was what again?
Tekatomborg. If I control a wind monster, I can just special summon him. It doesn't activate.
Oh,
And then, yeah, the other effect is I tribute him to summon a Speedroid tuner from my deck, and then I can only special summon wind monsters for the rest of the turn.
Yeah, in my head I was thinking, like, was it better to just special Fenrir and then attack, activate Fenrir effect, banish Mind Drain face down? If they use the Har negate, then I can still special summon Unicorn, grab Birth, bring back the Fenrir, make Draco Sack, detach, summon 2 tokens, Draco Sack, clear the Mind Drain. Yeah. So I want to say I definitely
Negate? Sure.
definitely played that
Unicorn effects?
suboptimally.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I go Unicorn effect on resolution because I was trying to resolve the effect of search, and I was like, oh yeah, I can resolve this effect too. And deciding what to banish here was like really tricky because I have no idea what's good, so I was like, you know what, I'll just get rid of Typhon, even though I haven't gone in the extra deck twice.
He gets Spanish face down, not that it really matters, but...
Yeah, so I was like, I'll go ahead and grab Birth here.
I'll never see it again.
And,
Regardless.
yeah, I feel like I could have done a lot better here. Especially, yeah, now that I see it, I was like, yeah, I already normal summoned too. And I can't summon Car Turbo in my hand either because of the Mind Drain.
Effective special? I can't do that.
Yeah. So I'm just like kind of screwed here to say the least. And I think again the play hands down. I mean, we still don't know what that back row is, the unknown. So I should have just spec'd Fenrir, battle phase, attack, declare effect, target Mind Drain. Let's say he negates with Har, which I think Har negates and destroys, which is something I want to actually double check here. Just on DB, because that would clear up a lot of confusion. Negate. Wrong card. Let's see here.
Yeah.
If you destroy that card, so Fenrir attacks, target Mind Drain, they chain hard, say protect it, and then it gets destroyed, spec Unicorn, search Birth, activate Birth, bring back Fenrir, overlay for Draco Sack, summon 2 tokens, make Rubber Band Shooter, Yeah, I mean, that just definitely was the play. And then my opponent has, like, one of the most broken cards in their entire deck here to follow up, which is World Legacy Monstrosity. And I was like, yeah, I guess I could banish 3 things face down from the graveyard. I have no idea if any of this is even going to matter, so I just banish those 3. But he's still got a target for Vala to be able to bring back. Yeah, so he brings back the Jormungandr, which I'm not even sure Vala targets. I guess I could look. And I'm just like doing effects just to do them, even though I know my demise is, yeah, this card is special summon. You can special summon 1 Generator monster from your hand graveyard, so it doesn't target. So yeah. And it's a lot of damage on board already. It can't open up my field just yet. I'm kind of calculating to see if my opponent actually can go for a game here. I am gaining 1, 2, 3. See, there's wind, fire, light, and I think there's earth or dark on field. Yeah, dark, fire, light, and wind. So I'm getting 400 attacks. Unicorn's at 29. And the monsters summon off World Legacy Monstrosity cannot attack. And then he just overlays them for Interblather and attacks for game. Like, that's just how that goes. So yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate we lose this one. I tunnel vision so hard and just summoning Unicorn. Just because it's like a wind. And that definitely cost me the game there for sure. Never doubt how good Fenrir is. I know I won't make that mistake again, but you know, you live and learn, right? So last but not least, a big shout out goes to our current Divine level channel members who are Pony Start, Cadillacs, HC8 Cyber, Misfid, Green, and Robin's Assistant. Thank you guys so much as always for showing me kind and very, very generous support of the channel.